They played with more confidence, and if it wasn't for Ramsdale, they'd have won the game. But it's a little concern for Arsenal, I think, in that from such a commanding position, they've dropped deep. They've stopped playing their normal football, and although Liverpool were good, they've allowed them onto them. You know, they didn't change quickly enough. I thought you could see it coming, and they still didn't change. Kept the same person and should have made subs quicker and tweaked it. Did change near the end, went 3 at the back. But I thought he could have done something earlier to try and stop that flow of attacks.
It is the first time since October 2019 that Arsenal have been 2 goals up in a Premier League game and not gone on to win it. They take a point away from Merseyside. An extraordinary weekend all round, wherever you look. So many stories, and we didn't think Sunday could follow Saturday, but I think it's taken it to another level. It all began with wins for United, Arsenal, Newcastle, crucial ones for West Ham, Bournemouth and Spurs. Frank Lampard's return to Chelsea was a losing one. City's 4-goal show. Crystal Palace scoring 5 goals away from home in the Premier League for just the second time in their history earlier on, having been 1 down at Leeds to win 5-1 in that crucial game at the bottom. And you could watch that 2-2 draw between Liverpool and Arsenal with the Salah missed penalty over and over again. Talk about an edge-of-your-seat game. That was it at Anfield. So after that first game of the day, Palace are the big climbers. 33 points, 6 clear of the drop zone, having played 30 games. Leeds remain 2 points above the bottom 3. Only West Ham in the bottom half now have a game in hand. Well, Manchester City probably would have enjoyed that game as well as Liverpool, because the gap is 6 points. City have a game in hand. They have a better goal difference, and they still have to welcome Arsenal to the Etihad. So if City win every single game, and they've got 9 left to play, then of course they will be champions. Liverpool in the top 8 still, 44 points, just 1 clear of Brentford, having played a game less.
You're under massive pressure at the end there. Does that feel like a point saved or 2 points dropped?
Bit of both. We managed to dig in at the end, but you know, we had some good chances and we come to Anfield and played really well, but had to survive as well. So I think right now it'll be mixed emotions, but I think over the next few days it'll definitely be a very good point.
Even in the context of the title, does it not feel like 2 points dropped? You led for over an hour.
Yeah, maybe, but I've just walked off the pitch and we've just been under pressure for 32 minutes, 35 minutes, whatever it was, and we've managed to get a point away at Anfield, and they're a top side, crowd get right behind them, so it might be 2 points dropped, but we could have dropped all of them as well at the same time.
It was relentless, the pressure, but you two made several magnificent saves, particularly the one from Salah, which got a nick as well on the way through.
Yeah, that's what I'm there to do, and I've enjoyed playing today. You know, there's no better games to be playing in than these, which means so much for both teams, and unfortunately we couldn't get the 3 points, but at least my saves have helped us out.
How much did you feel as well that your side acquitted themselves mentally? Because you knew about the record before you came here today. Yeah,
I thought we were excellent. I don't think we showed anything about sort of previous games against them. I think the last time we came here in the Carabao Cup we drew 0-0. So we have had some sort of performances here, but yeah, I think for 50 minutes, 60 minutes, I thought we were very good, and then I thought we defended really well, but got unlocked by 2 goals.
Ultimately, will only time tell what this point means today?
Absolutely. Now we've got to just go back in and work hard every day and build again. But 1 point is a lot better than none, and it's another point on the board, and we'll see where we go from there.
And is it hugely important as well that mentally you see the positivity in the point rather than the 2 points gone?
Absolutely, and that's what the manager will be saying. The manager's hugely positive, and you know, we'll come here, we'll digest it over the next few days, and we'll definitely be showing all the good stuff which we did in the first half to get 2-0 up.
Well, you played your part. You were the player of the match, Aaron. Well played today.
Cheers, Jeff. Thanks, man.
Cheers, pal.
How good was he, Tony?
Magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. The saves that he made was incredible, especially the one in the top right-hand corner. Phenomenal.
The one-on-one as well with Nunes.
Brilliant, yeah. Phenomenal. Absolutely. He's got us a point today.
You think it's a point gained?
I think it's a point gained today. Liverpool up their game in the last 30 minutes. There's not many teams in the world can actually sustain that amount of pressure in the Anfield roar behind you. That was hard going, but the goalkeeper was brilliant for us today.
Do you think it's a point gained?
Yeah. I think now looking at the overall performance, I was amazed in the second half when Liverpool was so dominant why they didn't go to a 5 earlier or even a normal back four. Zinchenko and Gabriel arguing with each other, who's picking up Salah, crossing over, they were all over the place. And that's something they'll have to learn from because they've got City away and Newcastle away coming up. And that confusion between those two could cost them later in the season against the better opposition. But they got away with it today, second half. There were good signs first half and some good counters second. But, that defensive confusion in the second half was a worry for Arsenal.
Well, the atmosphere sounded sensational at Anfield. Let's go to our man at the ground, and Arsenal invincible, Ray Parlour. Tell us, first of all, what that was like to watch inside the stadium, Ray.
Well, certainly from my point of view, it's very nerve-wracking, especially in that second half. I mean, you expected a little bit of a run from Liverpool. That goal in the first half was so important for Liverpool to get them back into the game, and the roar in the second half was amazing. It really was. When that second goal went in, I thought, that's it, we're going to lose the game now. But fair play, as Tony says there, Ramsdale was superb, absolutely brilliant today. And you always need a good goalkeeper if you've got any chance of winning the league. Tony will tell you that with some of the goalkeepers he played with. So, nerve-wracking, but I think it was probably a fair result in the end. Point gained, it's another point on the board. It's always going to be a tricky game. The record is not great here for Arsenal, so a point gained, I should imagine. But they still will be disappointed because they were leading 2-0. And I think Mikel Arteta will be more disappointed with the first goal. If you go in at 2-0, I think the game is a lot more difficult for Liverpool in that second half.
First things first, Ray, have you got your club blazer on underneath that coat?
I've got a blazer on, Tone. That's for when I go out later. But, it's I don't think I'll be going out in Liverpool later.
Hey, talk me through Martinelli today.
Yeah, I mean, he was different class. I thought that was always going to be where they could get a little bit of joy down that left. We know Trent is brilliant going forward. What he done for the goal, the equaliser was superb, going around Zinchenko. But he's a bit vulnerable defensively. He does get caught out of position, and I thought Martinelli took advantage of that. They got a little bit luck on the first goal, Tone. It was, they got a few ricochets, and Van Dijk didn't really clear his lines, and he got a little toe poke on it. But the second goal was brilliant. Absolutely picked him out, Jesus. Great header. So Martinelli's a live wire. We all know that. He can run at players. And when you've got a fullback who wants to go forward more than defend, I think he sometimes has a field day.
Ray, stay there. We'll be back to plenty of times in the next 45 minutes or so. Do you think, as Aaron Ramsdale was saying there, Danny, in the cold light of day, they probably think we were 2-0 up at Anfield, but actually the way the second half went, who knows in time how important that point could be?
Definitely. I think you've got to try and take the positives from it. They'll probably do a post-match meeting where they'll have a look at the pros and the cons. And the key is when you have a performance like that, from being 2-0 up and losing a lead, is how did you lose it and can we improve on that next time? If they were to go to City and score first, what can they do differently? Can you manage the game better second half? Can you do something? Can you play longer earlier? Can you tweak the foot? Whatever it is, you're learning from that because there were some positives from the game, but the second half was where I think Arteta will look at it and the players and think maybe we could have managed it better. I mean, that's not to take away from Liverpool, as Tony did allude to. They were much better with their quality and their intensity, but I think Arsenal helped them. I do. I think they'll look back over in a cold light of day. They'll look back and they'll hopefully, I think, for Arsenal's point of view, learn something.
I think
lead 2-1 at half-time at Anfield. You saw the temperatures rising. Andy Robertson was shown the yellow card after the half-time whistle. So both Liverpool fullbacks on a booking now. Goodness me, where do we start? Well, we talked about one of the matchups, which was Alexander-Arnold against Martinelli. And Liverpool got a warning inside the first 60 seconds, Tony.
first 60 seconds, we predicted this. 1v1 with Trent, walks past him. Absolutely walks past him. Poor defending. Chance straight away. Arsenal started very bright. And like we said, Martinelli. This is Saka again, driving. And Martinelli this time's come off the side. Trent's actually gone and followed him, but he's not been able. Martinelli's absolutely on fire here.
Yeah, his confidence is up. I think Liverpool, I mean, the touch didn't help Liverpool from Van Dijk, but look at his close footwork there, just to nick it at Robinson and before Alice. It's brilliant from Martinelli. He started the game tremendously well and causing Trent all sorts of problems.
7 goals in 8 games for Gabriel Martinelli. And same area of the pitch here.
Straight again. I don't know what Trent's doing again. He's got a great ball down the side, massive hole, but he stood it up and Jesus is pulled off the shoulder. Great centre-forward play, poor defending play.
He's got him there, Tony, and he's got him.
Trent's got him, yeah. Trent's got him, and Xhaka's put a great ball in, but his positioning's all over the place, Trent. And then Jesus is pulled off of the back shoulder of Van Dijk. And the ball and player for a central defender, you have to look at the ball and your player. He's not marking him at all. Jesus, good header down, good centre-forward header.
Although there's so much good in that from Arsenal, technically, and, you know, to score that second goal particularly, the mistakes from Liverpool to concede that are so basic. It really is. You know, you're a fullback with your man in front of you, you switch off and he runs in behind you. And then your centre-half's out there too late, and the other one comes across and you're done on the back stuff. It's such simplistic stuff.
I think it's confused him, hasn't he? I think the manager's confused him. He played Gomez against Chelsea and they kept a clean sheet. And now today he's popping in, he's trying to play him in midfield. Is he playing midfield or is he playing right back? The kid don't know what he's doing, Trent. No.
And you noticed, even before the game, the previous fixture earlier in the season, a very similar theme. Liverpool had a warning.
Yeah, well, what they did away at Arsenal earlier in the season, and I thought maybe this was just because Arsenal, you know, normally they go there and give them a good hiding in recent seasons. There's an overload. They've gone out to attack Arsenal, and they've let, on the counter, they've got done on an overload in the first 5 minutes. You can see 5 versus 4 there. Fullbacks took in, but they've got too many runners, and Martinelli scores. You know, you expect a bit better here, more respect for Arsenal. There's the 4 against Liverpool's 3. I know that Robertson has slipped there, but look at the midfield 3 letting 2 runners go off the back of them in the first 5 minutes. Unacceptable. You cannot play like that. That's the type of football you play in the last 5-10 minutes of a cup tie when you're desperately trying to get back in. The midfielders let your runners go, we'll win it back and we'll be in. It's schoolboy stuff. Someone's got to track the runners because the back players have then got an overload and they don't know who to go to, and then we're looking at them to blame them. But the midfield have got to do their job better. They've come into it more, Liverpool, but that they've given themselves a mountain.
Yeah, Robertson and Salah had great chances. How important could this goal be, Danny?
Massive, because it gives the crowd a lift, stops the anxiety, gets everyone behind them again. They've had some joy down this left side. Saka's switched off a couple of times. See him with his hands on his head there. Also, when you look at this replay, you've got Zinchenko doing for Arsenal what Trent's been doing, which is going into the middle of the park. But when they lose the ball, he's dropping in centrally, defensively, because Gabriel is going out to the left-back area to mark Salah. The problem is when they do that, you can see Gabriel finds himself in a full-back position on the back post, trying to defend against a winger. He's not used to doing that.
A strength in possession becomes a weakness out of possession.
Yes, exactly.
Did I sum it up well there?
Perfectly.
Storied venues anywhere in the football world. Derek Ray here on the commentary box, joined as always by former England defender Lee Dixon. And it's all about action from the Premier League in this case. It is Liverpool versus Arsenal.
Cheers, Derek. Yeah, really excited about this one. Looking forward to some entertaining end-to-end football.
And this is how Liverpool start the game. Alisson gets the... Andrew Robertson starts with Trent Alexander-Arnold in the fullback positions. Mohamed Salah plays with Sadio Mane out wide. And in this tactical setup, they have just the one player in attack. And this is the Arsenal starting 11. Granit Xhaka plays with Thomas Partey in central midfield. And the starting role in attack is handed to Alec. Can they forge ahead? That is goalkeeping of the highest order and of the bravest order as well.
Well, it's not all about tipping balls over the bar and round the post. It's about being brave and diving at players' feet.
And he's made headway. Oh, he's given it. Penalty. And an opportunity now for them to jump in front. Well, it had to be a penalty, and a booking part of the story as well. And a timely penalty. And firing it into the area. Well, no end product. Mane. Might jump in front. And a goal! That is a very bright start. Perfect way to open.
Well, this is worth another look, Derek. Lovely movement and guile to easily evade the defender. But then there's still plenty to do from here. Under all sorts of pressure from the defender, he just about keeps him at bay and finishes with aplomb. Great goal.
At the press. And they've won possession again. And there to intervene. Thiago. Well, he's thwarted him almost effortlessly. Thomas. And intercepted it. Well, this could pose problems for the defenders. Great opportunity. It's still alive.